Very solemn Volodymyr Zelenskyy here in Washington on Tuesday, essentially doing the rounds both on Capitol Hill and here at the White House. First of all, on Capitol Hill, he knows that they control the purse strings, the US Congress, and he really wants the $50 billion plus of aid that the White House wants for next year in its combat with Russia. He essentially told lawmakers that without this aid, Ukraine could lose. Now, it essentially is up to Congress. They're about to go home for Christmas. They really want this done by the end of the year, the Ukrainians and the White House, but it's tied up with potential immigration reform here in the US. Biden says he's ready to sort of compromise, but thinks the whole thing is being held hostage. Let's listen to the two leaders as they spoke about this urgent need as they see it.
Congress needs to pass a supplemental funding for Ukraine before they break the holiday recess, before they give Putin the greatest Christmas gift they could possibly give him. And so because we've seen what happens when dictators don't pay the price for the damage and the death and the destruction they cause, and they keep going when no price is paid.
Our goals for 24th are clear. Take away Russia's superiority and disrupt their offensive operations.
So what's the likelihood of a deal before the end of the year? Very unlikely. Congress is about to go home and essentially if it gets kicked into January, it becomes part of the whole big budget negotiations and a potential government shutdown, as we see so often in Washington. There's also another problem. It's an election year and polling, especially in Republicans, puts about half of those potential voters against any more aid to Ukraine. We'll wait and see what happens, but you know, 2 years into this conflict and it doesn't look good for Kiev and Washington relations. And of course, they've probably had about $100 billion from US and elsewhere over the course of this conflict, and essentially without the American lifeline, others may also sour on Kiev's cause. And of course, the White House and others are saying this plays into the hands of the Kremlin and their long-term strategy. Nathan King, CGTN, outside the White House.